my passion was building rockets. But my sister, older sister, much older, used to buy me model rockets. And when I was a kid, I wanted to work for NASA. I remember watching things like, what's the one, not Captain Scarlet, what's the other one? Thunderbirds. And I thought to myself, I want to go to NASA. And I used to love this. I used to love working and building. And I remember in my head, I thought, I'm going to go to NASA. I want to go to NASA, you know, and launch rockets and become an astronaut. And I remember when I was 6, I remember when I was 14 and I met the careers officer back then. And she said, so what do you want to do then, George? I said, you know what, I want to work for NASA. And she said, she laughed at me. I remember her laughing at me and said, you'll never achieve that. So I'll never achieve that. She said, why? My dad worked for Lewisham Council as a painter and decorator. She goes, the only thing you're going to get is a job as a painter and decorator like your dad. And from that moment in time, that destroyed all my hope. Because as a child, I'm looking up the adult. Although, you know, we might have our parents, but just thinking about it, a child is in school, probably in contact with those adults more than the actual parent. So eventually that teaches a bit like a parent. And the thing is, we put a lot of faith in the likes of teachers, even doctors. I know that sometimes you probably find yourself when you go to a doctor, all of a sudden we become children. Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor. That doctor could tell us any old rubbish, but we just go with it like sheep. So for me, with the teacher crushing my dream of wanting to go to NASA, at that point, I gave up on the school system. I thought, forget it, what's the point? Because that's all I knew. I didn't want to be a painter and decorator. Definitely didn't want to do that, it was too dirty for me, in fact. But I thought, I don't want to be a painter and decorator. I should have done that because they earn a lot of money now, the builders. But anyway, but they earn a lot of money, the builders now. There's a demand for it. But at the time, it was wanted to work for NASA, so they crushed my dream. At that point, I lost faith in the school system. And then I started chatting, I got bigger, I was into the gym, started challenging the teachers, started swearing at teachers. And it got to the point where they just started to ignore me, and it got to the point, it became a self-fulfilling prophecy where I fought back, they gave up on me, I gave up on education, and just didn't go back and do my exams. So that was my cycle. And then from there, and this is the dangers of now what I'm seeing, where I think it hasn't, but I hear your story, and it hasn't changed. There's a massive cycle of young people dropping out of education, end up in the prison system. When they come out, they can't refit back in again because all they know is the prison system. But also their self-esteem is very low. It's what you said on a one-to-one. You're right, 'cause I remember older guys who talked to me who kind of made it and they said, George, you can do it, but I couldn't really connect. Because although people say to me, George, you can do it, you know, you're smart, you would have been an A-grade student, I needed the guidance. There was no guidance. So my guidance was the street. And the worrying thing about the school, at the moment with the gang system, even if a child, and I know my parents are good, they're law-abiding and they worked hard, never been to the job centre, they paid their taxes. But the world out there is much greater than the home. Much, much greater than the home. So I found that the boys, and I was a gang leader. I used to have my own gang out there, running around Deptford and New Cross and all that kind of stuff. And what breaks my heart today, I think my actions inspired some of the younger ones coming through. I know I've got a cousin that did 12 years in prison for drug dealing, for moving drugs from Germany to England. And that's because of my actions. Now I know, and that's my cross to bear. I have to carry that because he looked up to me. But had I had, not to blame the school system, but a bit more encouragement, a bit more guidance. My family, I didn't see my dad was hardworking, but the influence outside is very, 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 very strong. And the media is very, 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 very strong.
Very stronger.
I'm not trying to put all the blame on that, but it did influence me psychologically. So coming through that, it got to the point when my parents, which I discovered quite recently from my sister, now everything's kind of cool now because now I'm a professional and I've been to university a few times, I've got my masters and all that kind of stuff. But my sister said to me and my dad said to me, my parents decided to leave me. They decided to go back to Jamaica in '89. And it's because my mum was scared of me and my dad said the only way he's going to change his life is us not being around. And my dad said to me, it broke his heart because he knew that two things could happen. I'll either end up dead, because he said what the biggest motivator that made him decide to leave, because he said that the police came knocking. And all parents, all Caribbean parents say, never bring the police to the door. I broke that cardinal sin. I broke it. I brought the police to the door because of my actions and things I was dealing. So police, I was being watched, and they came to the door and they actually said to my dad, "Oh, we've come to buy something from George," and they explained what they wanted to buy. And my dad said, "What are you talking about? We don't have this kind of stuff." And what's that? My dad's he's in his 80s now. He's like, what's that all about? And he came to me and said, "George, this is what happened." But my dad was quite a wise man. So when he said, "Yeah, they came asking to buy a drawer. What are you doing?" And then he made it behind my back. They made a decision and left the country, decided to go. And his decision was that he'll either make me a man, or I'll end up prison, or I'll end up shot. So for me, one of those things will line up. But at the time, I was glad that they'd left, because I didn't really get on with over the years, I didn't get on with my father. He was a hardcore disciplinarian. And I'm sure some of you are probably familiar with the beatings. I had a fair share of those, so him going was all right, because I thought, if you go, the belt goes with you. So it was kind of weird, because it rescued my life, because him leaving and me experiencing the